Hello, welcome back. I'm Statman Dave, and this is 3 talking points of Manchester United versus Chelsea in the Premier League. Well, first up, we've got to talk about how Mourinho got everything right against Antonio Conte's dominant Chelsea side. The first big decision, of course, was how to deal with Eden Hazard. After toying with playing Phil Jones in a man-to-man role away in the FA Cup, Mourinho decided to move from a centre-back to a central midfielder to deal with Eden Hazard. Eden Hazard this season has been Chelsea's most creative player, the top scorer from midfield, and also the top assister in the Premier League. So he's a big threat on the counter-attack, but also in open play. What Mourinho did was quite simple, but so effective. Ander Herrera has been fantastic for Manchester United in whatever role Mourinho has stuck him to this season. Against Chelsea, Ander Herrera's role was to man-mark Eden Hazard. United's system looked pretty much like a 3-4-2, with 2 strikers in Lingard and Marcus Rashford, a midfield 4 of Pogba, Marouane Fellaini, Valencia and Young, and then a back 3 of obviously Darmian, Rojo in the middle and Bailly on that right-hand side. And then what Ander Herrera did was just position himself wherever Eden Hazard went. So if Eden Hazard stuck to his usual left-hand side position, Ander Herrera would be snapping at his heels. If he moved to number 10, Ander Herrera would follow him. But also, he'd always stay offering down the line, offering Eden Hazard down the line. Where you don't want Eden Hazard is coming onto his stronger right foot or coming onto the inside left or inside right channels. What Ander Herrera did simply was open up the flank and show him down the wing. Obviously what Eden Hazard didn't want to do. On the right-hand side especially, Ander Herrera was helped out by Antonio Valencia, who dropped back and worked up to double up on, of course, Eden Hazard. It was a perfect game plan which stopped Chelsea's counter-attack and stopped Eden Hazard on the break, where they've been so dangerous this season. The only real time that Chelsea got going on the counter-attack, it was completely destroyed by Paul Pogba, who for me had a fantastic game in a defensive sense but also in a ball-playing sense, linking with the 2 forwards, which is a second thing that Mourinho got completely right against Chelsea, was playing Marcus Rashford and Jesse Lingard as a 2-man strike force. This meant that Chelsea's centre-halves didn't have any free zone to walk the ball into, but also were getting stretched in behind, something that they haven't really had in the Premier League this season, 2 quick forwards up against their back 3. And Chelsea could not deal with the movement and the pace in the first half, and Paul Pogba was the guy threading the ball to either Rashford and Lingard, those 2 combining and usually working a shooting opportunity, but it was credit to Mourinho again, not going for Zlatan Ibrahimovic, the big target man, but going for the 2 nimble forwards. And the final thing, of course, that Mourinho got 100% correct against Chelsea was his use of Michael Carrick. When Conte had to go back to the tactical drawing board after being dominated for 54 minutes, he threw on Fabregas at number 10. Chelsea switched from their 3-4-3 to a 4-2-3-1, causing United a little bit of a problem centrally. With Ander Herrera having dominated that zone against Eden Hazard, with Conte throwing another player in there, Mourinho had to react. What he did 3 minutes later was introduce Michael Carrick, who had a cracking game. United's shape switched from that 3-4-2 to what looked like a 5-1-2-1. Again, with plus Ander Herrera being that free man and just following Eden Hazard wherever he went over the pitch. That restricted Chelsea's movement, but also completely packed that central zone with players. What that looked with United in a defensive shape towards the end of the game was pretty much a 5-2-2-1, with the 4 central midfielders blocking any route that Chelsea had to play off Diego Costa or play to Eden Hazard. A fantastic tactical performance from Mourinho that gave United those 3 points. On to number 2, Ander Herrera is a more complete player than N'Golo Kante. Kante is a specialist ball winner, very good at getting up and down the pitch, covering ground and winning tackles. Ander Herrera is far more complete than N'Golo Kante. His performance against Chelsea just showed another ring in his game, and that is his man-to-man marking was absolutely perfect. Eden Hazard has been the most dangerous player in the Premier League this season. Against Manchester United, he definitely wasn't. In the first half, he failed to get a shot on goal, failed to create a chance and failed to complete a dribble. All credit to Ander Herrera, who won 100% of his tackles on Eden Hazard in that first half. Moving on to the full game, again it's great reading, all credit to Ander Herrera. Hazard failed to get a shot on goal, failed to complete a dribble, only created 1 chance to Pedro that pretty much made a shot for himself, and completed 79% of his passes. All down to, of course, Ander Herrera. And of course Ander Herrera used his great strength of reading the play and making those interceptions. He made 4 interceptions in the game against Chelsea. That was the joint most of any Manchester United player, with of course Marouane Fellaini, who played very well in a sort of defensive role for Manchester United. But going back to Herrera, he kept on stopping the ball to Eden Hazard at source. If Eden Hazard got going, he'd either foul him, bring him down, or of course win the ball and win those tackles. But Ander Herrera's man-marking job on Eden Hazard was absolutely brilliant. But moving on to why he's more complete as well, you think of the assist. A classic Ander Herrera assist. This is the second time that he's done this in the Premier League this season against one of the top 6 sides. The other move, the interception and the through ball, of course, to Henrik Mkhitaryan to give United a 1-0 win over Tottenham earlier on in the season. The same thing. Ander Herrera nicks the ball in central midfield. He's brave. He goes away from Eden Hazard. The moment that he has to push Matic in central midfield, blocks that ball, it hits his arm, but he deserves that for being brave. Ball down to his feet and then a cracking ball into the channel in between Gary Cahill and David Luiz. Marcus Rashford finishes off the job. But of course, chasing Eden Hazard for a full 90 minutes, he still managed to add a goal to his game. A cracking strike that was deflected past Begovic. And that is why he's a more complete player than N'Golo Kante, because he can play any role within a midfield. He can be the deep line playmaker, he can be the man marker, he can be the attacking midfielder, the goal scorer, the creator, absolutely everything. That is why Ander Herrera is better than N'Golo Kante. Moving on to our last little talking point, of course, it's Marcus Rashford. A cracking display from the youngster. His goal was great. The movement, the composure in front of goal. I quite like Marcus Rashford when he gets played through in sort of the right channel inside the penalty area, because I'm always confident that he's not going to open himself up. He's just going to strike the ball across the keeper, something that he struggles to do on that left-hand side. But his goal was fantastic. The pace, the movement to get him in between, David Luiz and Kurt Zouma, just to get on that ball that Ander Herrera slid through to him, and the composure of the goal was absolutely brilliant. But he did that through the game. He was a constant threat. He completed more dribbles than any other player on the pitch, and of course that moment when Big Marouane Fellaini intercepted the ball, played him into sort of the channel. Marcus Rashford versus Kante versus Luiz and Gary Cahill. Manages to drive to the penalty area, cut back and get a shot away. We've seen Marcus Rashford do it before against Chelsea and we've seen it again. Marcus Rashford has been in great form in the last 3 games, and it's a positive thing for Manchester United to have a different type of striker to Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Well, that's been that, guys. Manchester United 2, Chelsea 0. Thanks for watching, and if you've liked the video, make sure to hit that like button, tell your pals about, and of course subscribe if you're new to Statman Dave. Over and out, see you later.